This year's World Championship was rigged against EJ Tackett. Let me explain why. The tournament was dominated by two types of players, lefties and two-handers. In the cheetah pattern, the winner was Theo Bernard, a two-handed lefty who destroyed his competition of one-handed righties. The next day was on Scorpion. Take a look at this lineup. Two-handed lefty, two-hander, two-handed lefty, two-handed lefty, two-handed lefty. This is the first ever show with all two-handed bowlers, and the winner was, you guessed it, a two-handed lefty. The Shark Championship was an exception. Only one two-handed lefty, and EJ Tackett was able to win this one. But if you look at the World Championship standings at this point, it's pretty clear what's going on. Out of the 16 qualifiers, we have 9 lefties, 10 two-handers, and 7 two-handed lefties. To put this in perspective, do you want to guess how many lefties made the top 64 cut in the most recent USBC Masters? 1. Out of 64 people, only one person was a lefty. And now, lefties are not only the majority, they're also averaging more pins than righties. The same can be said about two-handed bowlers averaging more than one-handed bowlers. It's fair to say that the odds are stacked against EJ, but let's take a look at how he does in his first match against Eric Jones. Eric is using the same exact strategy as the previous day, using the Black Pearl urethane. And his look is pretty good because he strikes. EJ is using a solid reactive ball, the Pride Dynasty. He wants to control these lanes because he has the right side to himself, and he starts with 2 decent shots. First a bit high for a 4-pin, and the second one high flush. Eric's look on the right lane is just not very good, but on the left lane, he's still in the pocket and strikes. EJ's correction for his 4-pin is pretty standard. He moves just a bit left, and that works out. On the left lane, he misses quite a bit right, but still manages to strike. This gives him confidence that he has missed room right. To adjust his last light shot on this right lane, Eric's going to move a bit left and keep the ball a bit straighter. This was a perfect adjustment, and he strikes. On the left lane, he throws another perfect shot, but gets really unlucky to leave that 9-pin. EJ's look is still very good. With 2 more strikes, Eric is down 31 and needs to catch up quickly. Because his last 2 shots were pretty good, he doesn't seem to make any adjustments. It seems to work out because he throws 2 more strikes, and there's no 9-pin this time. To stay ahead of transition, EJ is going to slowly migrate left. But on the left lane, he gets his ball a bit too much inside. This ball was definitely going to go high, and he was lucky to just leave a 4-pin here. Eric makes a very similar mistake. He misses just a bit in, and the ball goes really high. On the left lane though, his ball is still going through the pins perfectly. All EJ has to do is stay clean for the win. He thought the shot was good, but it hooks earlier than he wanted, and it leaves a split. Now he needs a double to win. He doesn't make a big adjustment, other than making sure that he does not miss left. He aces his next 3 shots, and this game is over. His next match will be against Fach, who's using the exact same ball, but from a deeper angle. His first shot carries to 7 and strikes. To correct his last high shot, EJ Tackett moves slightly left and shoots the ball out more. This ends up working perfectly and he strikes. As for the left lane, he moves slightly left and throws yet another perfect strike. Graham's shot on the right lane goes pretty high and he gets lucky to trip that 8-pin. And on the left lane, he gets an even luckier break, going light and swishing a strike. EJ throws another perfect shot on this right lane, but this time it leaves a ringing 10-pin. The left lane is still very forgiving for EJ. Misses out right, but once again, it does come back and strike. To correct his last high shot, Graham just moves a bit to the right. I wasn't sure if that was enough, but he does get a flush strike here. On the left lane, he's going to slow down his ball speed just a little bit to make sure that ball doesn't go light again. But now, he gets a ringing 7-pin. EJ corrects his ringing 10-pin by moving a bit to the right and throwing it a bit faster. That gets the ball to hook a bit more and hit the pocket better to strike. And once again, this left lane is very forgiving. He misses right a bit, but still strikes. Graham's next shot looks pretty good, but now leaves a flat 7. To correct his left lane shot, Graham does something similar to EJ. He moves a tiny bit left. But because he didn't increase his ball speed, this ball just hooks too much and it goes really high. Then, EJ gets a bit of deja vu, misses a bit left, and leaves the 4-10. This left lane was never an issue for him, so let's see what Graham does with this opening. On the right lane, Graham didn't really make a big adjustment, maybe moved a bit to the left. So it made sense that he got the exact same result, the flat 7. To correct his high shot on the left lane, he moves quite a bit left and shoots it out quite a bit. This ends up being an over adjustment because now his ball goes light. With a few more good shots, EJ can shut Graham out, but his first shot is a ringing 10-pin. But then on his left lane, where he was perfect on, he goes really light, maybe because the ball was a bit too fast. His next shot's the proper ball speed and gets a flush strike, but at this point, Graham still has a chance. But Graham is just a bit too lost on this right lane. After 2 flat 7s, he tries to slow down his ball speed to carry that pin, but it was too much and went way too high, giving EJ the match. For the next match, Jesper Svensson's going to force EJ to start on the left lane and end on the tricky right lane. EJ's first shot on the left lane is obviously pretty good, and you can see him start to slowly migrate in and slow down the ball speed. Jesper is also going with urethane, this time the IQ78 toward urethane, and he's playing even deeper than Graham. His first shot is a flat 7, his second shot's a bit light but still strikes pretty nicely. Once again, EJ is moving left and slowing down the ball, but leaves a 10 pin on this right lane. The left lane though is no problem. To correct his flat 7, Jesper moves a bit to the left and throws it a tiny bit faster. Not a bad adjustment, but now it's a ringing 7. On the left lane, I think the ball stays in the oil a bit too long, the ball has no energy, and once again, a ringing 7. To correct his 10 pin, EJ tries to move his breakpoint a bit more inside on his right lane, but he also misses and leaves a pretty bad spare, and it's safe to say these spares are not his favorite. The left lane though is automatic. To fix that ring 7, Jesper's gonna now move inside even more, but throw the ball a bit slower. It seems to go a bit high, but it still works and strikes. On the left lane, he also tries to throw it a bit slower to carry that 7 pin, but then leaves a 10 pin. EJ is still having issues with the 10 pin, but this time a messenger helps him out. As for the left lane, it's too easy. Jesper throws an almost identical shot on the right lane, but now the ball is going even more high, maybe because of transition. On the left lane, he does carry the 7, but now it's a 10 pin. EJ's trying to slow down his ball again on this right lane, but again, 10 pin. For the left lane, it seems like a pretty good shot, but now it's a 4 pin. Jesper adjusts well on this right lane by moving a bit right, but yet again, it's a 10 pin. And even after some good shots on the left lane, that bad carry just lost him the match. With freedom to test more balls, EJ's gonna try out a Venom Shock, hoping that carries the 10 pin. But that doesn't seem to be the answer here, so he's going back to the Pride Dynasty. For the last match, he has to face Matt Russo. And once again, EJ starts with a great shot on the left lane. Matt saw all the carry issues the lefties had of urethane, so for this match, he's going with a strong reactive ball, this one being a hammer effect. His first 2 shots look alright, but both are 7 pins. Meanwhile, EJ's moving even more deeper left and slowing down his ball speed even more. That helps him carry a strike on his right lane. And you can already guess what he did on the left lane. Matt moves a bit left to try to correct that 7 pin, but yet again, it's another 7. With this ball 7 pinning 3 times in a row, he switches balls to what I think is a radical hitter. And finally, he carries that 7 pin. EJ seems to have figured out the right lane, but interestingly, he leaves a ring 10 on the left lane. Matt's also going to switch balls on this right lane, but he still can't seem to carry that 7 pin. On the left lane, he gets the ball out a bit too much, causing the ball to overhook. Luckily, he still strikes though, but now EJ's having a similar problem. He has the right lane down, but he's leaving 10 pins again on the left lane. Matt tries to move a bit left and send the ball a bit to the friction more, to hopefully carry that 7, but somehow it just doesn't hook and goes really light. Then on the left lane, which should have been his good lane, is leaving 7 pins again. Luckily, he gets a messenger though. But this game's not quite over, because EJ leaves again 2 more 10 pins. On both these shots, he tries to move his breakpoint a bit more in, but the ball just refuses to drive through the pins. Knowing that the ball won't hook when it's sent out too far left, Matt throws the next ball a bit straighter. It's closer to the pocket, but once again a 7 pin. And for good measure, a 10 pin on the left lane ends this match for Matt. The advantage of being a lefty seemed to actually hurt the lefties in this show. All that urethane carrydown made it impossible to carry a strike. And with great execution from EJ, he became the back-to-back world champion. So thanks for watching and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.